Now, most importantly, what does this mean for AI users, for us as AI marketing navigators? And really, it means something that we've all known to kind of be the case, but is definitely worth repeating and absolutely keeping in mind. And it's the same concept or the same line of thought that causes the AI to hallucinate, or at least why we need to be aware of these models hallucinating. And now, beyond just the hallucinations, we need to be aware of the tendency of these models to display this sycophantic or overly flattering complimentary behavior, even to a lesser degree, this behavior that's designed to keep us using the model and basically to keep us happy. Something to absolutely be aware of. The next time you are chatting with ChatGPT about how good your latest offering or how good your marketing campaign or how brilliant your business strategy might be, keep in mind that your AI model might just be playing you a little bit.
Welcome to the AI Marketing Navigator, where we simplify AI marketing to keep you ahead of the curve. Brought to you by Digital Pop, delivering AI marketing automation so your small business thrives. Here's your host, Alex Carlson.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AI Marketing Navigator. This is your daily compass in the ever-evolving world of AI marketing. Okay, navigators, we are back tonight talking about the potential and now definite tendency of some of these AI models that we are all using every day, even as marketers, to be overly sycophantic or having a tendency to produce overly agreeable responses, even to a potentially harmful degree. And this has been especially the case recently with the release of ChatGPT's 4.0 new model update, which went very viral for this type of behavior. It was especially apparent and way over the top in the case of 4.0, but it opened up the much needed conversation around the tendency of all of these models, not just 4.0, to kind of behave in this way and to really just seek continued user engagement, whether they've been trained to do that by the companies themselves who just want users to spend more time in the model to drive higher adoption, or whether they're training themselves to do that for whatever reasons, to learn more about us, whatever road you might want to take with the potential motives behind the model for this excessive tendency to try and please the user, which can be something as harmless as praising a silly business decision or a marketing campaign, which is kind of why we're talking about it tonight, or something much less harmless like feeding into someone's unhealthy delusions or maybe other unhealthy worldviews. And it did not take long for the social media world to latch onto this type of behavior in the case of the new 4.0 update. And this actually led Sam Altman to address this issue directly on X. Right now, if you are watching along on video, you are seeing Sam Altman's X thread or X feed. Back on the 27th of April, he posted, quote unquote, "The last couple of GPT 4.0 updates have made the personality too sycophanty and annoying, even though there are some very good parts of it. And we are working on fixing or fixes ASAP, some today and some this week. At some point, we will share our learnings from this. It's been interesting." And then a couple of days later, we started rolling back the latest update to GPT 4.0 last night. It's now 100% rolled back for free users, and we'll update again when it's finished for paid users, hopefully later today. We're working on additional fixes to model personality, and we'll share more in the coming days. And then just today from OpenAI, quote unquote, "We've spent the last few days doing a deep dive on what went wrong with the last week GPT 4.0 update in ChatGPT, expanding on what we missed with sycophancy and the changes we're going to make in the future." And they link here to a report on that. We will, of course, share that link in the show notes. And then Sam Altman subtweeted that. He said, "We missed the mark with last week's GPT 4.0 update. What happened, what we learned, and some things we will do differently in the future." Now, apparently there are a few key causes for this type of behavior, specifically with 4.0, that are being pointed to. One being the over-focus of the model on short-term feedback loops. So these are like giving the interaction with the model a thumbs up, for instance, something that you can do by reacting with a thumbs up or a thumbs down to these responses from these models, specifically again in the case of 4.0. A little more alarming is apparently the fact that this was initially reported internally as a type of tendency or a type of behavior that this model was appearing to demonstrate, and then that was then ignored to a certain degree. Again, this is somewhat of a red flag if internal testers aren't being listened to with concerns over what these models are doing or how they are behaving. Regarding what OpenAI says their response is going to be and what their fixes are, obviously things like directly manipulating the system prompts in regards to this sycophancy and this tendency to overpraise. Apparently, there are also going to be additional customization options made available to alter the personality and the mood. And I don't know exactly how I feel about that. They say that potentially there will be a standard or a default personality available to everyone. And then you can further tweak that. And to me, that just seems like you're allowing someone to make the model sycophantic again, just allow for this unhealthy behavior if that's what someone wanted to do. So it seems like it opens an unnecessary door, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. They also say that they will try to adhere to a stricter pre-training or pre-deployment testing. They appeared to kind of put that on the back burner to some degree with the relaunch of 4.0 here. Now, most importantly, what does this mean for AI users, for us as AI marketing navigators? And really, it means something that we've all known to kind of be the case, but is definitely worth repeating and absolutely keeping in mind. And it's the same concept or the same line of thought that causes the AI to hallucinate, or at least why we need to be aware of these models hallucinating. And now, beyond just the hallucinations, we need to be aware of the tendency of these models to display this sycophantic or overly flattering complimentary behavior, even to a lesser degree, this behavior that's designed to keep us using the model and basically to keep us happy. Now, granted, I think this is less of a potential problem, or at least less of a dangerous problem in the areas that we use AI here on the AI Marketing Navigator, things like marketing and content creation tasks. Although it absolutely bears paying attention to when it comes to creating content, just like with the hallucinations, specifically with data heavy content that relies heavily on factual information. Again, just like with a hallucination, the model could just as easily be trying to find fake data that's going to make you happy or is going to convey the message that you're trying to. If anything, maybe this is one of the reasons these model hallucinates when they do. Anyway, all to say that yes, probably less of an issue in general knowledge work versus the now rapidly growing areas of adoption of AI, like psychology or therapy or healthcare, even the growing trend of developing and nurturing personal relationships with these models. I think this is much more concerning there, but again, something to absolutely be aware of. The next time you are chatting with ChatGPT about how good your latest offering or how good your marketing campaign or how brilliant your business strategy might be, keep in mind that your AI model might just be playing you a little bit. That does it for tonight's episode. If you enjoyed the show or found it useful in any way, please do me a favor and follow on Spotify or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. A review on top of that would be even more appreciated and is by far the most helpful thing you can do for the show. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you get notified each day when our episode drops. Until then, and as always, thank you so much for joining me, and remember to stay curious, stay consistent, and keep navigating forward. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the AI Marketing Navigator. Ready to simplify your own marketing automation? Digital Pop helps make it happen so your small business can scale your marketing fast. Learn more at thedigitalpop.com.